But I thought it would be kind of cool to get this story from Koby Howard's eyes. So we invited him to join us this morning on Good Morning Cane Sport. So let's welcome Koby Howard into the show. Koby, welcome to Good Morning Cane Sport. Man, that was I'm watching those one-on-one drills at the Mario Cristobal Legends Camp on Saturday. You're a young guy going against older kids. You're balling out. You're showing what you got, and then there was the one play that the ball was right on the money. You went up to get it. The DB tried to went to make a play on the ball, and he landed on top of you, and immediately all of us watching, like, you could just sense that something awkward had happened, and I guess he landed on your leg in a weird way, or But why don't you tell us from your perspective what you remember from that moment?
I remember I was running the route, and I mean the QB. I think he led me more, so I didn't have to jump up for the ball. But I mean, it happens. I fell for the ball. I looked at my leg, and it was twisted to the right. I was confused, but my adrenaline, I didn't really feel any pain until a couple minutes after, and then got to the ambulance, and got to the hospital, and they said that I had broke my tibia, and they had to straighten my leg out. I didn't get surgery. They just gave me a cast because they didn't want to mess with my growth spurt. They were gonna put like a rod in my leg, but they didn't. They didn't want to mess with my growth plate. So I'm still growing. So I just got a cast. I could take it off in 6 weeks, and I'll be back at it 3 to 4 months.
So obviously this will impact you for this season, but the thing that makes this, I mean, there's never anything good when an athlete like yourself gets hurt, but the thing that makes this a heartwarming story in a way is that you came to the camp looking to prove yourself, and in the time that you were out there, you did prove yourself, and on the way to getting your leg fixed at the Lennar Center, you found out that Mario Cristobal was going to give you a scholarship offer to Miami. And obviously nothing could mask the pain, but tell us what went through your head at that moment.
Well, it was very exciting when he gave me the offer, but when the time he gave me the offer, they had me on like stop the pain, and so I really can't remember what was on the moment, but I remember him just saying that I had an offer, and he told me that I didn't get the offer just because I was in the hospital or hurt. He told me scholarship.
Yeah, well, Koby still hasn't taken off his Legends shirt from the camp, which is good to see. And for the fans watching this that haven't read the story yet, I talked with Koby before this video was shot yesterday, and he basically said Miami's his front runner. And I also talked to his dad, and they were both so impressed with Mario Cristobal. And I mean, when I was talking with Koby, I don't think he was that emotional talking to me, but I was actually a little emotional talking to him because I've done this a long time. And it's pretty rare. Koby probably doesn't realize it's rare. He's very young. But it's pretty rare, Koby, for a head coach who has 12 official visitors on campus, who has, I think he estimated over 20 key unofficial visitors on campus. He left campus for you, man. He left campus for you to check on you. He could have just called you a week later, 2 weeks later, said, hey, you have a Miami offer. But he didn't do that. He went to the hospital. He ran up to you in the ambulance. He said, I'm going to see you in the hospital. Went over to the hospital, left all those top recruits in the country in the class of 2023, 2024, and 2025 behind. Went to your hospital bed, spent 20 minutes with you and your father, explained to you had the offer, said how bad he feels for you. And your dad also said how appreciative he was. You both were super appreciative. It's a neat moment. It's not a moment that, believe it or not, happens at every school or every time a student athlete gets hurt. I've seen college student athletes get hurt that are on a team where the coach won't get to see them in the hospital until the next day or the day after. So, I mean, that's pretty special.
I really appreciate him doing that. I mean, the Miami coaching staff, they showed a lot of love during my injury. And like you said, they are on the top of my list right now because, how they were showing love, whatever. And Coach Gaddis, I'm trying to get under his wing because of the receivers he put in the league and all. So, yeah, they're definitely at the top of my list right now. I'd say they're number one.
Have you ever been hurt before?
I've had minor injuries, but nothing big like this.
So I imagine in your mind, you're like, I'm going to come back stronger, faster, better. Is that what's going through your head right now?
Sure, that's definitely the plan. I think I'm gonna start in mid-season and then just take off from there. They said 6 weeks in the cast, and then I rehab and stuff, and then really whenever I feel like playing, I'm gonna wait till mid-season to start playing.
All right. I want to just take a moment here. We've got the picture from the hospital visit. Sorry for putting it over you, Matt. But
of course you put it over me, Gary. Of course.
I can't control that. But
yeah, right.
So there you are, Koby. You're in your hospital bed where nobody wants to be, and Mario's there by your side. He's holding your hand. He's pointing at you, and I got to believe that that's a picture that you're going to cherish for a long time.
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
You have a couple years before you commit to a college, and a lot of schools will be recruiting you between now and then. But from talking to you, it sounded like that Miami is obviously going to be very much in the forefront of your mind because of the experience that you had there in a very tough moment for anybody. And your family too. Like, I was watching your dad. Your dad was very emotional. I'm a dad. Matt's a dad. You never want to see your son get hurt playing ball. I mean, playing ball is what kids are supposed to be able to do. And but you could tell it was a very emotional moment for your whole family. That sounds like it's going to impact a lot of things potentially in your life here moving forward.
Yes, sir. I mean, there's just a little bit of adversity. Everybody goes through adversity. It's just how I come back off of it. I'm planning to come back off of it strong, like it never happened.
I want to tell you, Koby, that just to reiterate, what an unusual story it is. And I know it's not a good thing that you got hurt, but I have a feeling 3 or 4 months from now you'll be 100% better. You'll be running around the field as good as ever. And a few years from now, as you have perspective on recruiting, after every top school in the country has offered you a scholarship, as you have perspective, you'll realize how unusual it is that a head coach left his major official visit weekend of June to go and visit you in the hospital and spend some time with you. And I look forward to that moment when you sort of can look back and really understand what this was all about and what it meant for him to actually do that. And also, from your perspective, I look forward to covering your recruitment. You're young. You haven't even really started your recruiting process, so you don't really know what it's all about yet. I know you have a bunch of offers, but it's going to get hectic. So look forward to covering you during your recruitment, and just best wishes for a speedy recovery.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, we'll have you back during the season to get an update on how you're doing.